Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today the topic which we are going to deal with it is clauses. So in this video we will discuss about clauses, what are clauses and what are different types of clauses. We will go through different examples and so that we will be able to understand the topic to the fullest. So far as a clause is concerned, it is simply a part of a sentence. जहाँ तक एक क्लास का ताल्लुक है ये एक सेंटेंस का पार्ट होता है and we know that there are two main types of clauses. We have got independent clauses which we also call as main clauses, and we have got dependent clauses or which are also called as subordinate clauses. तो हमारे पास clauses की दो किस्में हैं, independent clause या जिसको हम main clause कहते हैं, और हमारे पास डिपेंडेंट क्लास है जिसको हम सब ऑर्डिनेट क्लास कहते हैं। तो सबसे पहले हम इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास के बारे में बात करेंगे। फर्स्ट वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट इंडिपेंडेंट क्लासेस। एक्चुअली एन इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास इट इज़ ए कंप्लीट सेंटेंस। ये कंप्लीट सेंटेंस होता है। इट कंटेन्स ए सब्जेक्ट एंड ए वर्ब एंड एक्सप्रेसेस ए कंप्लीट थॉट इन बोथ कॉन्टेक्स्ट एंड मीनिंग। ये कंप्लीट सेंटेंस होता है, इसमें सब्जेक्ट भी होता है और एक वर्ब होता है। और अगर हम इसको अलग तरह से एक सेंटेंस के तौर पे लिखेंगे तो ये इसका पूरा माना देता है कॉन्टेक्स्ट के साथ। फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे पास एक एग्जांपल है, वी हैव गॉट एन एग्जांपल, द डोर ओपनड। तो ये एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है एंड इट कैन स्टैंड एज ए सेंटेंस। And we know that independent clauses, they can be joined by coordinating conjunction to form complex or compound sentences. जब आप compound और complex sentences की बात करते हैं तो उनको जब आप देखेंगे तो उनमें coordinating conjunctions होते हैं. So independent clauses, they are found in complex or compound sentences while they are being joined by these coordinating conjunctions. तो ये coordinating conjunction क्या होता है? For example हमारे पास मैंने यहाँ पे कुछ लिखे हैं and, or, yet, but, nor, for, so. So these independent clauses, they can be joined by these coordinating conjunctions so that we can form complex or compound sentence. हमारे पास कुछ examples हैं. We have got some examples. You will see here, we will take two independent clauses and we will join them with a conjunction. You will see, the door opened, the man walked in. We will form it as the door opened and the man walked in. We have seen that we have used a coordinating conjunction and. So the sentence will be, the door opened and the man walked in. And it has formed from the sentences, the door opened, the man walked in. Then we will go to the dependent clauses. So far as dependent clauses are concerned, इनको ज़्यादा अच्छी तरह समझने की कोशिश करनी है। A dependent clause जिसको हम subordinate clause भी कहते हैं, it is actually a part of a sentence. It contains a subject and a verb, but it does not express a complete thought. So for that, it depends upon the independent clause. They can make sense on their own, but they are dependent on the rest of the sentence for context and meaning. तो ये अगर हम इनको अलग तरह से रखेंगे तो they will not express a complete thought. Although they will be having some sense, इनका कुछ sense होगा, लेकिन जो sentence का दूसरा हिस्सा होगा जब तक न वो इनके साथ मिलाया जाए तो ये हमें पूरे का पूरा माना नहीं देते हैं. They are usually joined to an independent clause to form a complex sentence. Usually जब हम complex sentences की बात करेंगे, जो हमने बहुत दफ़ा डिस्कस किया है, तो उनमें आप देखेंगे कि डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज को इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज के साथ मिला के वहाँ पे कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंसेस बनते हैं. So dependent clauses, they often begin with a subordinating conjunction, or we have got relative pronoun that makes the clause usable to stand alone. So जब भी आप dependent clause की बात करेंगे तो उनके शुरू में, उनके beginning में या तो relative pronoun होगा या subordinating conjunction होगा. अब आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि ये सब ऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजक्शन क्या होते हैं या ये रिलेटिव प्रोनाउंस क्या होते हैं. यहाँ पे वी हैव गॉट ए टेबल. In tabular form we have got some subordinating conjunctions like we have got after, before, in order that, since, though, whenever, whether, although, even if, once, so that, unless, where, while, as, even though, provided that, then, until, whereas, why, because, if, rather than, that, when, whenever. And we have got some relative pronouns too. That, who, whose, which, whoever, whosoever, whichever, whom, whomever. So these relative pronouns are the subordinating conjunctions. They are found at the beginning of the dependent clause, and they will be found in complex sentences. For example, we have got the door opened because the man pushed it. यहाँ पे हमने देखा कि एक subordinating conjunction because इस्तेमाल हुआ है. The door opened because the man pushed it. So we see here we have a dependent clause. The man pushed it. So it has begun with a subordinating conjunction because. So the door opened because the man pushed it. From this you can also learn how to found the type of sentence, which type of sentence this is. Is it a compound, some simple, complex, or something else? So we have got different types of dependent clauses. They can be nominal, they can be adverbial, or they can be adjectival. So we have got nominal dependent clauses, we can have adverbial dependent clauses, or we can have adjectival dependent clauses. First, we will discuss a nominal clause. A nominal clause, or we also call it as a noun clause, it functions like a noun or noun phrase. इसको हम noun clause भी कहते हैं. तो ये function करता है noun या noun phrase की तरह. It is a group of words containing a subject and a finite verb of its own and contains one of the following. इसमें आप देखेंगे you can find that, if, whether. For example, we have got a sentence where we will see a nominal clause. I wondered whether the homework was necessary. So we have seen here whether the home was necessary. So I wondered whether the homework was necessary. You can find a noun clause or a nominal clause. So a noun clause or a nominal clause, it functions like a noun or a noun phrase. This is the first type of dependent clauses. Then we have got another one, that is adverbial clause, or we simply call it as adverb clause. It is actually a word or expression in the sentence that functions as an adverb. So that functions as an adverb. That is, it tells you something about how the action in the verb was done. As you already know that adverbs, they tell us about the verb, how that action is being done, or how the action has been done, or how the action was done. So that is the case we are discussing here, that it tells us something how the action in the verb was done. an adverbial clause is separated from the other clause by the following subordinating conjunction. You can find these subordinating conjunctions. इस adverbial clause में आप ये subordinating conjunction देखेंगे. We can find after, although, as, because, before, if, since, that, though, till, unless, until, when, where, while. So you can find these subordinating clauses in adverbial clause, these subordinating conjunctions in case of these adverbial clauses. For example, they will visit you before they go to the airport. So here we have got subordinating clause before. I will repeat it. They will visit you before they go to the airport. The adverbial clauses can also be placed before the main clause without changing the meaning. For example, we have got before they go to the airport, they will visit you. So we have got here adverbial clause. It has been put in the beginning and then followed by the other part of the sentence. So we have got before they go to the airport. So we have got this adverbial clause in the beginning without changing the meaning of the whole sentence. So I will repeat that adverbial clauses, they are actually the words or expressions which function as adverbs. Then the third one is, it is adjectival clause. They are also called as relative clauses. Adjectival clauses or relative clause, they does the work of an adjective and describe a noun. So it is usually introduced by a relative pronoun who, whom, whose, that, which. You can find these relative pronouns in case of these adjectival clauses. So relative clauses या adjectival clauses जो होते हैं, they work as an adjective और उनका फोकस जो होता है वो नाउन होता है, वो नाउन को डिस्क्राइब करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे I went to the show that was very popular. I will repeat it. I went to the show that was very popular. So here we have got a relative pronoun that is that. तो आगे क्या क्लास आएगा? That was very popular. So we are discussing about a show, and what kind of show? It was a popular show. So we have focused here the noun and it has been described by this clause, hence we call it as adjectival clause. That was very popular. So this was something about these clauses. Hope that you have got the things which were here. We have discussed clauses, then we discussed different types of clauses. We have got the independent clauses and then we have got the dependent clauses. तो उसके साथ साथ हमने इनकी क्या कहते हैं कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स भी ली. तो हमारा जो आज का टॉपिक है इसी के साथ इख्तिताम को पहुंचता है. अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू.